Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kervyn Mark, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kervyn Mark. Listen, before I bring on our next guest, I'm going to tell you that when we post this episode, as always, we want you to like and subscribe and share this episode with a friend so we can begin to build our following. But welcome to the platform, the international acclaimed DJ, my friend Kervyn Mark. Brother, talk to me. How are you?
I'm fine, man. Thank you for having me on. This is exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
yeah, man.
I wanted to do this conversation. I wanted to have this conversation because so many great DJs, and you are certainly one of the pioneering DJs in this whole thing that we call house music. We don't know enough about the backstory in terms of who you are and how the industry became. And so this is why I think, podcasts, this one and podcasts like this type and interviews like this type are so important. So the platform is yours, man. Let's talk about house music. Let's talk about how you get started. And as they're starting to say on Facebook, we want to give you your flowers today, now. We want to share your story so we can begin and continue to celebrate you. So talk to me, brother. How do we begin this thing you call house? How did you begin?
Excuse me, Kevin. I'm not hearing you. Now I hear you. Okay. I didn't hear anything you said before.
Wow, so you didn't hear the part about giving you your flowers now and what we want to do on this platform. You didn't hear any of that.
No, man, them flowers didn't get watered at all.
Okay, so I was sharing with you and perhaps the future listening audience that we're going to use this platform. And we want to share your story because oftentimes in this music, this genre we call house music, we don't know our favorite DJs. We don't know their backstory. We don't know their contributions to the game, to this thing called house music. So that's why I think that this interview and just having this conversation with you today is so important. So we're going to give you that platform and talk about how did it all begin? How did you become DJ Kervyn Mark? Internationally acclaimed house music DJ.
Thank you.
You got it, brother. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yes,
so, my background first and foremost, I got introduced to the whole thing concerning DJing through my cousin.
Yes.
Back in the 70s, in the early 70s, he had been DJing since the 60s, primarily for the Caribbean community in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And he became actually, in terms of parties and servicing the Black community and the Caribbean community, he became one of the biggest promoters during that time. And so he would have them at all these different nightclubs, but also we would have parties in my basement.
Yes.
These fundraisers, these were political fundraisers. And he would DJ those events and I would be there. And then, I just got interested in what he was doing.
Now let me stop you. When you say DJing in the 60s, that's not DJing like we know it today. What kind of equipment was he using?
That's a great point. So it was wild. Check it out. It was just one turntable.
Yes.
One turntable, amplifiers, and speakers, and it was like what they talk about, like the loft school of DJing. Yes. It was just like that. You just play one record at a time, and rock the party that way. And he started doing the 2 turntable thing like around 73, 74.
But what?
Then he started.
But what do you?
And there was no mixer. There was no mixer.
I was about to say.
It was.
So what do you do with the audience? What do you do with the crowd when you've got to change the record? Are you singing along? Are you having commentary? Are you asking them about how was your day? What are you doing?
You remember back then. Remember the whole thing about continuous music was a rarity.
Got you. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
You know, the majority of people who partied back then, it was one record at a time.
Gotcha.
You know,
yes.
It was not about mixing. It was that whole thing with mixing. It wasn't in play yet.
Got you.
There were very few who were doing it, like Francis Grasso, Nicky Ciano. You know, these guys were doing it, but in terms of the Black community, it wasn't a big thing yet.
Got you.
And even if it was basically just cut. It would just be cut from one record to the next.
Yes.
Again, it wasn't blending or anything like that.
Yes.
Right? So he was just doing one record at a time at these parties. And, you know, we're talking, 300, 400, 500 people.
Wow.
Yep. And
you know what just came to my mind was back then the songs were much longer too. One song could be, I was thinking, remember the song "Got to Give It Up"?
Right, but what I'm trying to say is this is before that.
Yeah.
So it was strictly. This is 45.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is 7. This is 7-inch.
Okay.
Remember, the 12-inch.
Yeah.
The 12-inch vinyl or extended play didn't come in until like 75, 76.
Wow.
So this was, we're talking guys were DJing strictly with 7-inch vinyl.
Wow.
And that's what he was playing, or the album.
Wow.
The 12-inch album, and those weren't extended versions neither. So that's what he was playing. That's what he was playing on. Wow. So that was before that. Now, moving forward, while I was in high school, I got introduced to hip hop.
Yes.
Right. This is in the late 70s.
Yes.
I went to Brooklyn Technical High School, and Brooklyn Technical High School was a specialized academic high school. Like, you had to take a test to get in there.
Yes.
And so it was not one of your zone high schools. You had people from all over the city attending this high school.
Gotcha.
And it was like, it was over 5,000 students, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Over 5,000 students. So you had people from all over the city, and like 1/3 of the students, even though it was in Brooklyn, they were from the Bronx.
Wow. So
there was this one dude that he used to come with the Grandmaster flash tapes.
Yes.
And would sell those tapes.
Yes.
To us, because we didn't know about this. We didn't know about the hip hop like that until this guy would come in with these tapes, play them on a boombox, and we were like, "Yo, what is that?"
Yeah.
And that piqued my interest into the whole rap thing. This is before records.
Yes.
There was no such thing as records. It was basically guys DJing at the club.
Yes.
You had a guy on the microphone with the whole "yes, yes, y'all" to the beat y'all thing, and this is before records. And he piqued my interest.
Okay.
And then I went to an event, and then I saw the guys cutting and scratching, 2 turntables. I saw all of that, and I was like, I'm interested.
Gotcha.
And then there was a guy in my neighborhood, this kid, and he was only 13, 14 at the time. And he lived across the street from me, and he was already doing cutting and scratching.
Yes.
And at that time, he was one of the best in the city at 13, 14 years old.
Wow.
And I asked, and I joined, we formed a crew, and I became the rapper for that crew. And yeah, I was a rapper. I was a rapper in that crew.
Yes.
And while, he would be like, well, do you want to play some records? And I'd be like, yeah. So I learned how to cut and scratch.
Okay.
on those during that time, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a hip hop kid, cutting and scratching through high school.
Yes.
Now in my last few years, I also got introduced to club music.
Yes.
Right? It was, remember, hip hop and disco era were basically around the same time.
Yes,
they were around the same. It was the same time.
Yes.
So guys would be cutting and scratching on disco records anyway. You had other guys who were doing the club records in the, straight up blending by that time. But hip hop guys, we would be cutting and scratching records like Frisco Disco, Sing Sing, records like that. Okay, cool. So there was a guy who I was really friends with, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to this nightclub. Do you want to come check it out?"
Yes.
So I was like, "Sure, let's go." And that club was the Ozone Layer.
Okay.
So I go to this club, and no, let me pull back. I'm sorry. I got to pull back before I went to the club.
Okay.
I graduated out of high school.
Yes.
And I started to attend Brooklyn College.
Yes.
And the same guy I'm about to mention, during that time, they had what they call student union hour.
Okay.
Okay. So student union, which was in the middle of the day,
yes,
hour, you would have a DJ come in and play music.
Okay.
And it was for the students to come to the student union building and dance.
Okay.
So this is like around 80, 82, right?
Okay.
And he was playing club music.
Okay.
No cutting, no scratching, which was foreign to me.
Yes.
He was playing club music. So he was playing like Time Warp, Eddie Grant.
Yes.
There was a lot of that, what they call like the electronic webo, Planet Rock.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, play at your own risk.
Yes.
It was that was the popular music.
Yes.
So that was like a bridge between hip hop and club.
Absolutely.
Because the club that a lot of us knew was like the Roxy. We knew about the Garage, but it was really like the Roxy.
Okay.
So one day at school, the guy's like, let's go to a club. And he takes me to this club, the Ozone Layer. And that started to change my perspective on how music would be presented.
Yes. Because
the DJ who was playing at that time, that was David Morales.
Okay.
So, David Morales was playing, and that was his residency.
Okay.
That was his first residency, right? And it's funny because years later we realized that we both played for the same Sandlot team, but we just didn't remember that. But whatever it was, David Morales was playing, and that kind of turned me on to the club atmosphere.
I can imagine.
Right?
He's a bad dude. He's a bad dude.
And he was bad. He was bad back then too.
Wow.
He was always good.
Yes.
Then my friend was like, "Okay, yeah, this is cool, but we got to go to the Garage."
Okay.
So I was like, "Okay, cool." Okay. Now, when I heard about the Garage, I always heard that it was a gay club, and I was like, I don't want to go to no gay club.
Yeah.
But he was like, "No, we got to go." So we go with some girls or whatever, and a couple of us from the school, and I was just blown away by what I experienced that night.
I can imagine.
Okay.
I can imagine.
It was like, Larry, the whole thing.
Yes.
That the size, the sheer size,
yes,
the sound system, the light show.
Yes.
So and so many African Americans in the club, and you feel like you could actually leave your stuff on the floor and come back, and it wouldn't be missing. It was like, wow, you could just you could put it in the speaker, and like 10 people would have their stuff in the subs, and you come back and it's still there.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is my home.
Yeah.
This is my home. Okay, I don't gotta worry about nothing. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
hold on a second. We used to. I went to the garage
Right.
twice with.
Yes.
Twice, both times with my cousin because he had a
Right.
membership. But
Yes.
I remember going to the Zanzibar,
Mm-hmm.
and their subs were so huge that people would be drunk sleeping inside the speaker.
Yeah, it's the same thing at the garage.
I was like,
same
yo,
thing.
what are you doing?
Yeah, it was the same thing. Same thing at the garage. Same thing. Same thing, man.
Oh,
man. So, I mean, I went to Zan's also, but the garage was the one that was like,
absolutely, absolutely.
But interestingly enough, check this out.
Yes.
I had my foot in like both worlds.
Yes.
So I appreciated the music that was played.
Yes.
But I didn't have an appreciation for Larry for what he was doing because I was more of one of these technical, like your mixes had to be smooth. I came from that school.
Okay.
And Larry was this kind of guy that it just anything goes.
Yeah.
So that I didn't appreciate it until, after a couple of years, I started to appreciate it.
Yes.
So you had the club music at the garage. Now, this is when I really got into it.
Yes.
It had nothing to do with the club. It had to do with the radio mix shows.
Got you.
And the guy that got me, so I had another friend. I transferred from Brooklyn College to Pace University, right?
Yes.
And Pace is in Manhattan.
Yes.
So because of that, I had more access to go to the nightclubs in Manhattan because that's where they were, right?
Yes, they were.
Okay. But I had a friend, and this is where you bring up Zanzibar. I had a friend who was from Jersey.
Okay.
And he would come here talking mad garbage. Like, you guys don't know anything. You guys, you guys don't know.
Yes.
Like he had a friend. I think the friend's name was Daryl Johnson.
Okay.
And Daryl, I remember we're only playing with vinyl back then.
Yes.
And Daryl I would hear the tapes, and Daryl would be mixing 3-4 records at a time.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, this is crazy. So he's telling me this, and this is like around 83, 84, right?
Yes.
And I'm hearing this, and he's like, oh, yeah, these guys are whack. You guys, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Listen to this. So that started to pique my interest. And I remember I had DJ'd a party at Pace, and I still was doing the whole cutting and scratching thing.
Yes.
And he still was like, nah, you don't know what you're doing. And my partner did like an edit of all the club music and was playing that. And the crowd, and this is funny, the crowd at Pace wasn't receptive.
Got you.
But the dude from Jersey loved it.
Yeah.
And to tell you how he was in the middle of the dance floor.
Yes, sir.
Screaming and telling the crowd that they were stupid, they didn't know nothing. It's like I have that cassette. I gotta find it, and you could hear him in the audience.
Wow!
Yes,
now,
you could hear him.
Who did the radio mix at that time? Was that KTU?
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he then started bringing in the tapes of the radio shows.
Yes.
And it was the main guy was BLS.
Yes. Yep.
And the main guy was Merlin Bob.
Absolutely.
Merlin Bob was playing house.
Yes.
And, I'm talking when house first came out.
Yes, sir.
So he was playing Music is the Key.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing these incredible mixes.
Yes.
And it was like, yo, I would go home and just try to emulate that guy.
Yeah.
And, up to this, and now Merlin and myself are friends.
Okay.
But I tell, we're friends.
Yeah.
But it's how surreal that is, that this guy
Yeah.
who you looked up to that you only knew from the radio,
Yes.
and he's your friend now. But Merlin, not Timmy, and Timmy was his partner.
Yes.
And I love Timmy. I love Timmy Register. And then Tony Humphries was dope too. So I would listen to Merlin and Tony Humphries because they had. Even though what's wild is you know that they're cousins, right?
I don't know that. I know that now. I didn't know.
So
that.
Merlin and Tony Humphries are first cousins.
Got you.
And they both and all those three. I talk about Timmy also will be practicing all together.
Wow,
that's what happened.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. Wow. So Merlin and Tony were the ones who really got me into it, and I would go home and I would practice trying to play like Merlin to the point that after like 6 or 7 months, I had that skill set that I could do it live. What he was doing on the radio, I was doing that live.
Wow.
Okay? Yes. That I was mixing, I was doing 3 to 4 minute mix blends live. Yes. That's how I played from 85 on, that's how I started playing, and that's how I've always played.
Wow. So
that's basically how I got into playing the club music.
Yes.
And, from there, I was doing all the college parties.
Okay,
I got at Pace.
Yes.
Yeah, as your cousin has told you.
Yes.
But not only at Pace, because of what I was doing at Pace, people started to hire me all over the place to play.
Wow. Now,
so I was playing at Pace.
Let me stop you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now, at this time, what type of equipment are you using?
Turntables. So I'm just using 1200s.
Okay, 1200s.
I was using 1200s and a GLI PMX 9000 mixer.
Got you. Now, the most important question I got to ask you. What kind of speakers were you rocking?
Well, I never owned equipment.
Okay.
I always rented.
Okay.
I always rented. I always had dudes that I could go to, and they would hook me up.
Okay.
So, but understand that when I came out, the sound systems were like none other.
Understood.
I did not play around with that.
Understood.
The guys that no, I did not play around with that.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you an example. This is funny. So at Pace, you had the different fraternities and sororities, right? Yes. So there was one co-ed fraternity sorority that they were the quote unquote club heads, and they were cool.
Got you.
And for you to play for them, they were like, "Oh, you had to submit a demo."
What?
Tape. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
You had to submit a demo tape.
Yes.
And they would sit down and listen to all these different demos and decide who would be their DJ for the party.
Wow.
Now, okay, yeah, they were like that. All right. But the funny part was, because I went to Pace, because I was one of their classmates, they wouldn't hook me up. They were like, "Oh no, we're gonna get the name DJs and all of this stuff," right?
Got you.
So there was a party, and again, honestly, I had deserved to play that party.
Yes.
But they chose this other guy who was playing at a nightclub.
Okay.
Okay. The guy came in. He came in with garbage equipment.
Okay.
Okay. The wiring was like telephone wiring. It was like that.
Gotcha.
There were 350 to 400 people at the party.
Yes.
The equipment would cut off.
Wow.
Incessantly.
Yeah.
And at one point, they booed him, and I'm not making this up. They started yelling my name.
Wow.
That in other words, like I should have been playing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And from that incident,
yes,
they started, that particular fraternity sorority, they hired me, and I always had great equipment.
Absolutely.
at those events. Now, and everybody who hired me knew that I was coming with like state-of-the-art equipment.
Now, Kervyn, let me ask a personal question now. What were you charging for these parties at that time?
Wow, I would be lucky if I was getting paid $200.
What? But I guess again we didn't know that. Yeah, we didn't know. That's crazy.
It was back then, and then I had to worry about equipment rental.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So at Pace, I was also part of like student union.
Yeah.
So I could tell them, okay, you got to pay this much for the equipment. Okay. And then I would figure out how much I would get paid after that. Okay. I wasn't making a lot of money from the college parties. And what? And then
now, so house music, club music is just really getting started. Where were you sourcing your music from? Because at that time, you had to carry your music. You had to carry your music in these big crates. Where are you sourcing your music from at that time?
Primarily Vinyl Mania.
Got you.
Vinyl Mania was my store of choice.
Okay.
You go to the garage, you hear the records. Next day. Yeah. Like I would go to the garage on Friday. Next day, Saturday, I'm at Vinyl Mania. That's where I'm getting my record.
Got you. So you gave them a playlist, or you say, what's the hottest songs out? Give me those.
No, I heard this.
Got
you. So Manny Lehman was the guy behind, and he knew everything. So you talk to Manny, Manny, there's this record. Baby Wants to Ride.
Yeah.
Oh, Kerv, that's not out yet. I'm like, come on, man. I know it's coming out.
Yeah.
And as soon as it come out, I get it. That's it.
Got you.
So Vinyl Mania was it was two stores. It was Vinyl Mania, and there was another store called High Tech on the east over by Bleecker Street.
Okay.
That Nick Jones was working there.
Got you.
And that's where I would get my stuff from.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So now you've got the crowd rocking at Pace. Where do we go from there?
Okay. So like I told you, I'm doing Pace. I'm also doing other colleges. I'm doing Hunter College.
Yes.
I'm playing for the Kappa Alpha Psi. I'm playing for that fraternity.
Yes.
I'm playing at St. John's. I'm playing in Albany State University.
Okay.
I'm playing. I'm now in the circuit, right?
Yes.
The next thing was now for me to get into the clubs.
Okay.
But getting into the clubs back then, unless you were in a record pool,
yes,
right? It was hard for you to get in the clubs.
Got you.
Okay, so this is what happened. My college mates and myself, we created a production company where we started throwing our own parties in different lofts throughout the city.
Got you. Okay.
Okay, it was called Caveman. It was called Caveman Productions.
Got you.
Why Caveman? I got no idea, but that's what we called ourselves. I'm sure my man from Geico ain't too happy about that.
Yeah.
So we called it Caveman Productions, and we were getting like 500 people at our events.
Wow.
And I was the DJ.
Yes.
I was the DJ, and they were wildly successful.
Gotcha.
They were doing really well. So I had a really close friend, and one day he's like, I know this lady who was looking for a DJ to play at her first party at this club.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, no problem. So she needs a demo. I give her the tape. She hears the tape and she calls me right away.
Yes.
And I go to meet her in Chelsea over at the Chelsea Hotel.
Yes.
Right. And her name is Suzanne Barsh.
Okay.
So Suzanne Barsh was his fashion maven, very much like Pat Fields here in New York.
Okay.
Who she is connected to that Studio 54 fashion.
Yes.
West Village. She's all of that.
Yes. Right?
But I didn't realize it at the time how big she was. So I meet her and at her place, and she's like, "Oh, cousin, I really like the way you play. You play brilliant. Oh, I love it. You're going to be my DJ, and we're going to have this party at this club, Sauvage."
Okay.
So Sauvage is on 23rd Street.
Yeah. I've been there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so this is like around 87.
Okay.
And I've become her resident DJ, right?
Wow.
And the first party is like a who's who. Madonna was there.
Yes.
David Brandon was, it was like that type of people were at the party. And I was like, wow. And they're like, yo, this guy, he could really play, And the thing was, at Sauvage, Sauvage, the club itself had its own resident.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing for Suzanne's party, but Sauvage had its own resident. And the resident DJ was Don Welch from Underground Network.
Got you.
So Don Welch and myself became friends, and Don is showing me the ropes because I really didn't understand the whole club thing yet. It takes time to get used to that.
Gotcha.
Like I'm playing, now I'm playing on a Yuri mixer, all of that. I got to get used to that. Back then, you're in a booth and you could barely see the dance floor. That's how it was back then. It wasn't like the garage was open, you could see the dance floor, but most clubs back then, you were in a booth.
Absolutely.
And they couldn't see you, but you might be able to see the dance floor.
Yeah.
So I had to get used to all of that. And it took a while, but I was a DJ. I was a resident there for a year. And then, as things go, she moved on from me because it was a fashion thing and they just wanted to flip it or whatever. So that ended. And then but I was still doing the college parties and I was still playing here and there. And then I ended up getting a residency at the first club I told you I went to, Ozone Layer. I got a residency there. And from there, then I just kept on doing Ozone Layer, clubs here and there,
yes.
All the way through, and Pace. I was the main guy at Pace up until 92. So, as you can expect, the club scene was, again, bridging the gap between the house music and hip hop. So when you did parties, you had to do both, right?
Yes.
PE, Public Enemy.
Yeah.
You had to do both. So I was able to do both for 2 to 3 years. The problem was that every time I would go and do a hip hop set, and I hate to say it, but it's true. Every time I would do a hip hop set,
yes.
a fight would break out.
Yeah.
I would have the crowd rocking, right?
Yes, sir.
Then now it's like, okay, let me do the hip hop, and
yes,
I was really good at the hip hop,
yes.
Really good. And dude, no life, 3 straight parties, do a fight,
yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I got to take a break. I can't do this, because people were getting hurt.
Yeah,
people were getting hurt because, in fact, the last party that I did, it was at Columbia University.
Okay.
And I'm going back and forth on Jump, the crisscross record.
Yeah.
So I'm just rocking the beginning part, just rocking that part, and I'm rocking that part for like 2 to 3 minutes, going back and forth on it, and the crowd is just they're just going crazy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I see this rush towards me. A fight breaks out, and they're stomping this dude in the middle of the floor.
Wow.
And the crowd is running towards me. I literally had to pick up my turntables and stuff to protect it. Party's over. So I said, you know what? This is not it. So I literally stopped playing.
Wow.
I stopped playing. Yeah, I stopped playing.
Yeah.
So I took I would do little gatherings here and there, but I really, really wasn't into the club scene.
Yeah.
Even at that time, Sound Factory Bar was starting to pick up.
Okay.
I remember I went to see if I could play there.
Yes.
And the politics and everything, they weren't going to let me play. So I just stopped playing.
Okay.
And then 95, 96, I started going to dance tracks.
Okay.
I was going to the record store dance tracks,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So first they had Stan and Joe Clausel, and then Stan left, and then Joe Clausel was the main guy. And it became a thing that every Friday you go there, you get your records, Joe would play. They would close the gates at 10 o'clock,
Yes.
close the store, and Joe would then DJ.
Wow.
Okay? And it would be a few of us in the store, but Joe was doing his thing. And back then you knew, this guy's special.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? This guy's special.
Yeah.
So, okay. One day he gives me a flyer to an event. And the event is at Vinyl, which was the old Shelter.
Yes.
Right? So he gives me this flyer. And he's like, yo, yeah, we're celebrating Larry's birthday party. A birthday, you need to come. I was like, okay, I'm going to go. So I go with my friend. And so is Joe, and he's DJing with these two other guys.
Okay.
Right? And the party was dope. It was a dope party. It was a Sunday afternoon party.
Yeah, yeah.
It was at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, so you know what I'm setting up. It is at 4 o'clock. It was a Sunday, and it was a great party.
Wow.
And then I went back to the store, and I was like, yo, when are you going to do another one?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, Kerv, we're talking about doing this on the regular.
Yeah.
So I got hooked to that party, and then finally it comes out that they're going to name the party Body and Soul.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I met John Davis, and I was like, I got the fever from hearing Joe and hearing those guys. I got the fever. You know what? I want to play.
Got you.
I want to play. I want to play.
Got you.
So I picked up, I started buying vinyl like crazy,
Okay.
started playing, and, Joe and myself became really good friends. And, there would be times on Fridays where he would let me play at the store. And I was like, I want to play.
Got you.
Got
you. Now, are you still friends with Joe now?
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll be lifelong friends. We'll be lifelong friends.
Now, do you ever get together with those guys, Merlin Boggs and Joe, to collaborate on anything?
Okay, so Merlin, I only met Merlin.
Got you.
Like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. So
I'm going to tell you right now, that's in the works. I'm definitely going to do something with Merlin.
Yeah,
I have to.
Got you. No doubt.
That has to happen. That is like, first of all, he is a beautiful person.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yes.
He don't get it twisted. He knows what he's accomplished.
Oh, no question.
Which is a lot. I mean, his A&R.
Yeah.
Working at Atlantic Records is legendary, but at the same time, he doesn't look down upon anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we've become really, really cool as friends.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Now, Joe. So this is where everything is going to take off from here. This is what happened.
Yes.
This is the big one right here.
Yes.
Okay. So Body and Soul started having guest DJs.
Yes.
All right. And I was like, oh, so you're having guest DJs now.
Yes.
Especially, so the way it would go is one of the 3 guys wouldn't make it, and they would pick who they want as their guest DJ.
Got you.
So, you understand? So Ron Trent, for instance, invited to play.
Yes.
Kim Lightfoot,
yes,
invited to play. when one of those guys couldn't make it,
Yes.
right? So I had been telling Joe, you know what? I would love to play a body and soul. I told him this, right?
Yes.
So around 97, 98. So this is 3 years, 2 to 3 years in the body and soul.
Yes.
One day I get a call and Joe leaves a message and he tells me, yo, you're going to be playing a body and soul. I got to go away. I've told Francois,
Yes.
by the way, it's Francois K and Danny Crivet.
Oh, yes.
I told them that you're going to be, I want you to choose you as a guest.
Wow. Now,
Okay.
now those are also legendary DJs too.
Look, so I've told you who the guys who are my influence.
Yes.
But let me tell you right now, Francois K to me
Yes.
is he's a god.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at Francois. He's a god. Okay. If I had to want to be somebody,
Yes.
that's the guy.
Wow. Yeah.
Because his mind and his scope of music,
Yeah.
nobody can match it.
Yeah.
Nobody. So
Yeah.
he's the guy. So
Yeah.
Francois, after Joe told me this, I cried because I couldn't believe it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I cried, and then and then right after, Francois gave me the call, and he told me, welcome. Joe has told me a lot about you. I'm looking forward to playing with you. And I played with Francois and Danny. And what was interesting that particular night, Louis Vega and Kenny Bope show up.
Got you.
Kenny Bobian is performing.
Yes.
So all of these people are there, and I'm playing, and there was one mix that I did. Because remember, I told you I do these long mixes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a mix that I did that was like about 5 minutes long,
Mm-hmm.
with a La India record and this other track, and Louis standing right next to me because he produced the La India record.
Okay.
And he comes to me and he's like, "Yo, that was a great mix, and thank you for doing that."
Yes.
And dude, you couldn't tell me nothing after that. I was like, "Yeah, that's it," And that was my big break, because nobody to show you how things can be. When it came out that I was going to be a guest,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of resentment.
Got you.
I'm not gonna mention names, but there were cats like, "Yo, who is this guy that he gets to play a body and soul?" It was like that.
Yes.
It was like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were like, "Look, if Joe chose him to play, he must be that good."
Yeah.
And after I did that, after I did Body and Soul,
Yes.
nobody said anything after that.
Got you. Tore him up, right?
They were, yeah. I showed them right there. They were like, "Yeah, now we understand."
Now let me ask this question: When you played for Body and Soul, what were some of the songs that you were able to blend at that time? What were some of your favorite blends at that time with those?
Okay, so like I said, I mentioned the La India,
Yeah.
and it was Shaz El Camino Part 2.
Okay.
So that was my bridge
Yes.
record, because you always have a bridge. Back then you would have a bridge,
Yes.
which would be an instrumental, and then you do an overlay with a vocal.
Yes.
And so I used a record like that. Back then there was a lot of spiritual life records.
Okay.
So I played, there was a Jeff de Guillaume, what was it called again? But what was funny about that? So I played this Jeff de Guillaume record, right?
Okay.
Now I remember Joe, Danny, and Francois, they're partners, right?
Yeah.
So I played a Jeff de Guillaume record, and Danny and Francois like, "What record is that?" Joe didn't let us know about this record. So I laughed. I was like, yeah, I have it. You know, because by then, okay, so in the 80s, the advantage you had was record pools.
Yes.
The advantage that DJs had was the record pool.
Yes.
By this time, the record pools were not as powerful anymore.
Got you.
So cats were going, so the playing field became level, and it was about what you got at the record store.
Yes.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You had to go and get stuff at the record store.
Yes.
So, like the Spiritual Life record that Joe Clausel was producing,
mm-hmm.
you weren't getting that at record pools. You had to go to the record store to get that.
Gotcha.
So I was spending mad money in records in those days, and I would have these records.
Yeah.
So when I played with those guys, it was funny. I played that, and they were like, "Wait a minute, that's Joe's record, and we don't have it." Yeah, so it was records like that, and yeah, so I played. Those were the records that stood out to me. A lot of the Spiritual Life, a lot of dope stuff, and I ended up playing at Body and Soul 4 times.
Wow,
4 times. Yeah,
wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And the funny part it wasn't Joe inviting me after that. It was Francois. Francois was like, Joe, you going away? Oh, can we have Kervyn? And Joe would be like, but he's like, no, we want Kervyn to play.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And it was like, wow, So yeah. So from that, everything started to take off. Until after a while, I was like, I need to do my own thing.
Yes.
I had formed a partnership with some guys.
Uh-huh.
And the problem can always arise that egos can get in the way, especially when you have a group of guys who they're hungry, and they're getting breaks on certain things, and they don't know how to handle it. So there was a situation that there was one production group. I'm not gonna even mention it. We had the
You're not gonna give me no dirt.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. It doesn't matter, but it's to let people know that you can have a group of talented individuals, no matter how great their talent is, but if they cannot respect one another, and pull for one another, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was part of this group, and I just felt like an outsider, so I decided to step away and to do my own thing.
Got you.
I met up with some other individuals who were actually going through the same thing, and we formed these meetings, and we started what was called the melting pot.
Got you.
So the melting pot formally started in the fall of 2002.
Okay.
The initial members were Antonio Ocasio, guy Brian Cook, Joanne Jimenez, Muima Lombe.
Yes.
Am I missing anybody else? No, I think that's pretty much it. Yes. So the whole concept of the melting pot was that it was going to be a multimedia event.
Yes.
Meaning that all the arts would be incorporated in this given event.
Yes.
So you had artwork or live painting, spoken word,
yes,
singing performances,
yes,
DJ music.
Yes.
All of that.
Yes.
in a given event. And as time went on, again, remember what I told you about people pulling for one another and all of that.
Oh yeah.
People came and went, but by 2004,
Yes.
it settled into this group where it was this person named Rena Mercado.
Okay.
It was Rena Mercado and me.
Okay.
We were the main people, and
Yes.
then we recruited people, and from there, Melting Pot grew.
Got you.
We ended up with a residency at the New Eureka Poets Cafe, as well as I also ended up being the resident DJ for Jelly Bean Benitez at the Union Square Ballroom.
Wow.
So those things were happening
Yes.
for me at that time. And Melting Pot grew very, very fast.
I can
right?
imagine after that. Yeah.
And then Rita and myself split in 2007.
Got you.
And the remaining members that we had, Melting Pot grew to almost 15 members.
Okay.
It needed to go down. It went down to like 7 or 8 of us.
Okay.
And we ended up with a residency at the South Street Seaport, at Water Taxi Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was us. And we blew up. We
what?
blew up. We blew up. We really blew up.
Yeah.
Because by then, we were getting major people to play at our events.
Yes.
In fact, the Paradise Garage reunion, right?
Yes.
The Paradise Garage reunion, the official Paradise Garage reunion
Yes.
with Joey and David DePino.
Yes.
Honestly, its first event was with Melting Pot.
Wow.
Mel Sharon was doing Paradise Garage. He was doing it with like Ruben Toro and those guys, and he really wasn't incorporating Joey Llanos and David the way he should.
Yeah.
Then Christina Visca was doing something called Return to Paradise, and she wasn't incorporating those guys.
Gotcha.
So, in my view, the vibe of the Paradise Garage was not being presented.
Yes.
So I approached Joey and David and said, look, you guys are the two remaining residents of the Paradise Garage.
Yes.
Larry's no longer here. Let's do this at the Seaport.
Yes.
We did it at the Seaport. We had 1,500 people. And from that really took Melting Pot to another level.
Yes.
And the Paradise Garage reunion was set. From there, those guys took it wherever they took it to.
Okay, so you got you guys are in like your 30th year now?
What, the Paradise Garage reunion?
Yeah.
The reunion now. Well, I mean, the Paradise Garage closed in 1997.
Yeah.
Right, but the official reunion, honestly, like I told you, it's really it's really, in my view, it's 15th year. It's 17th or 18th year.
Okay, now do you go back to participate?
I just support.
Okay.
I just support.
Okay.
I'm part of the family.
Understood.
I did 3 events with them.
Yeah.
I did that. I did a boat ride, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we did what many consider perhaps the best one. We did it at Le Poisson Rouge on Bleecker Street in Manhattan.
Got you.
That's what it was right after Lolita Holloway died.
Yo.
The vibe that night was the garage. That vibe was the garage.
Got you.
There was no question. They had me open
the
first 3 hours, and then they took it from there. And I played. You know, I play different than those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're brilliant. I'm just more house grounded than they were. So I was playing a lot of the house that was played at the garage.
Got you. Now,
Not
Kervyn,
just-
now let me ask this question, right? You mentioned 3 hours. So when you are thinking about doing a 3-hour set, right?
Mhm.
Is your music already scripted in your mind as to which songs you're going to grab, or you just feeling
No.
the crowd?
No. Well, okay. No, nothing is scripted.
Okay.
First of all, when I play these days, I walk with possibly 2 hard drives.
Got you.
Each of those hard drives,
Yeah.
no lie, probably has 15 to 20,000 songs in it.
Wow. God, okay, I got you.
So, yes, I'm interacting with the crowd,
Yes.
or this is what flashes in my mind,
Got you.
and then I just do, and then I search it, find it, and pull it up and do the mix.
Okay.
So I'm constantly, when I'm playing, my mind is all over the place.
Got you.
That's where I'm at. So no, I don't have anything. I mean, yeah, you can say, okay, I'm doing the garage. I need to be in the mode of playing garage.
Yeah.
You know, for a garage crowd.
Yeah.
I'm playing. Yeah, I mean, you have that in mind.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But you never have like your first 3 songs scripted as to this is what I'm going to start.
No, never.
Okay, got you.
Never.
Gotcha.
Never.
Okay.
I that's not me.
Okay.
Never.
Now,
Like I have a gig tonight. I don't even know what I'm going to play yet.
But I mean, okay, it's 11:30 right now. What are you feeling like you want to play tonight?
When I get there, I see the crowd, and
Wow.
I'll make it happen.
Understood. So let's circle back around, because when we were prepping for the interview, you were telling me the story about I'm not sure if it was the Melting Pot, but you were also talking about how you guys started doing the DJing on the boardwalk at Coney Island. I want to talk about that too for a second.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was
How could,
go ahead.
I don't even know how I could forget that part. Okay, so Coney Island Boardwalk. So,
yes.
For the better part of 9 years,
Yes.
from the mid '90s to 2003, right? There was one entity that was doing events on the boardwalk.
Yes.
They call themselves the Black Underground,
Okay.
or the Colony.
Yes.
And that was spearheaded by Pernell Morrison,
Okay.
DJ Pernell. He had partners like DJ Paradise, Taboo from Soul Summit.
Oh yeah.
There's one more person. This one person is so important. But I'm forgetting. My apologies to that person.
That's okay.
And they were they did it. And you know, it became successful.
Okay.
Pernell got tired.
Okay.
9 years is a good run, right?
Absolutely.
It's a good run. He got tired. He got tired of doing it because Pernell musical scope is very broad.
Okay.
So he would like to play rock music. He would like to play everything, and the crowd didn't necessarily understand that.
Got
So
you. Yeah.
you know, he wanted to branch out and do different things.
Got you.
So he quit.
Okay.
After he quit, and actually they quit in 2002. Now I think about it. After he quit, I got approached by Preston Brown.
Okay.
So I had met Preston. Preston was basically, he was a DJ like me, who did a lot of college parties back in the day.
Yes.
Mostly down south. But his background was he did the college parties, and he was definitely into house music. He got into it. Based on those radio mix shows, thing.
Yeah.
And we became friends.
Gotcha.
And he approached me. He was like, "Yo, man, you know, nobody's doing the boardwalk.
Got you.
Let's do the boardwalk." So at the time I was working for the city, I was like, yeah, I know how to get the permits. I can get the permits, and let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And I went, got the permit, and July 9th, 2004,
Yes.
if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I think it was 2004.
Yes.
Or 2005, one of the two. We did our very first event on the boardwalk.
Wow.
So, and I wanted to make it clear,
yes.
and this is no disrespect to anybody. That opened up, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Everybody else wanted to do the boardwalk.
Got you.
And people who were up there, they approached me about how to get permits and everything, and I showed them how to get the permits.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Preston and myself were the guys, and first is Purnell, and he will always get his props.
Yes.
He has to. And then comes Preston and myself.
Got you.
And then everybody else. And then, in all fairness, I will give Ray Vasquez his, because Ray came on board on the boardwalk about a month or two later.
Got you.
But I showed him how to get the permit. Okay, so
now
that's it.
Are you still active in producing shows on the boardwalk?
The last one I did was last October.
Was it?
Was
it last October or September? Because
I'm sorry, September.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, September. Yes.
Yeah, because that was you and Tim Wise, right?
Yeah.
And I think what was so exciting for Tim was this was the first time he was doing something as a New Jersey boy coming to Brooklyn.
Well, a lot of Jersey guys have done the boardwalk.
Okay.
But that was the largest sound system.
Yeah. Brought out
to that. Yeah, he brought up Maxine.
Yeah.
The only other person that comes close, or of course has done that, I shouldn't say come close, who has done that, is Sting International.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Sting has done the boardwalk 3 times.
Got you.
Right? Oh, by the way, let me back up a little.
Okay.
So Preston and myself had a partnership on the boardwalk for 2 years.
Okay.
We went our separate ways in 97.
Okay.
And Melting Pot was doing its own thing. And Preston was doing Sandcastles.
Got you.
That's what happened, okay?
Got you. Now you
no,
go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Melting Pot, in doing its own thing, the difference that we were doing as opposed to everybody,
yes,
we brought major talent to play on the boardwalk.
Yes.
In 2009, I connected with Sting.
Yes.
And Sting agreed to do the boardwalk with the Melting Pot.
Wow.
That was the first one.
Wow.
The next year, I had decided that I needed to do, again, something different than what I was doing with the Melting Pot.
Yes.
I started the Reel.
Okay.
And the Reel did the next year's event with Sting International on the boardwalk. So for 2 years in a row, I did events bringing Sting to the Coney Island boardwalk.
Yes.
Okay. So in terms of major people I've done events on the boardwalk with,
yes,
Louis Vega, Sting, Spinner, Tony Humphries.
Yes.
Those guys, I mean, there are others too, but when those are the guys I've done the major stuff on the boardwalk with.
Gotcha. Now again, I got to ask, behind the scene question. When you're doing these boardwalk events, and you can always tell me, Kevin, shut up, I can't disclose that. When you're doing these major productions, these boardwalk events, and you're bringing, top talent, are you doing a behind the scenes sponsorship? Are you going to City Hall? Are you going to local businesses to help raise the money to pay for some of these guys to come out?
All right. Let me give you the scope of New York City.
Gotcha.
Okay. There was a point for 2 to 3 years I was getting sponsorship.
Yes.
That the second time I did it with Sting, that sponsorship helped.
Yeah.
The first time, no, there was no sponsorship.
So you
but the second time,
you just paying out of pocket.
we were paying out of pocket.
Wow.
And ever since 2011,
Yes.
I've been paying out of pocket.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we paid out of pocket.
Man, that
we could pass around the plate.
Yeah.
But for what it's worth, how much do you really get in relevance to what you're producing?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
I mean, that event I did with Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a $3,000 event.
Yeah. If not more.
If not more.
If not more.
The work that went into that event on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Honestly, I paid a high price for that.
Yeah.
Because I may not be able to do the boardwalk again.
Wow.
But not that I care.
Yeah.
I'm going to be frank with you. I don't. I mean, if I was to do the board, think about it. If I was to do the boardwalk this year,
yeah,
that's 19 years on the boardwalk.
Got you. Now,
so
you mentioned Sting, and so when I hear the word Sting, I'm always thinking of Soul Summit. Have you ever played for those guys over at Fort Greene Park?
Yes.
Okay. And
I played for them a long time ago.
Gotcha. Now I think they get sponsorship. I think they get money from the city.
I'm gonna beg to differ.
Okay, because I again, I mean, all those people that come out, I know them jokers not doing that for free. Because there's got to be a sponsorship angle in there somewhere. Because the mayor,
it's not as simple as you think.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So let me explain.
Okay.
Now, out of everybody, Soul Summit, yes.
Yeah.
They should be. Let me put it this way: Soul Summit should be getting corporate sponsorship at this point.
Yeah.
The city should not even be close to being involved because Soul Summit is getting 8,000 to 10,000 people at Fort Greene Park.
More,
if not more.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
To show you what I mean, Spike Lee did the Prince Michael Jackson event last summer.
Okay.
Which had more people. Okay. That event, the whole park was, when Soul Summit does it, they do it on the hill.
Yeah.
No. When Spike did it, the entire park was filled.
Wow.
I guarantee you he got corporate sponsorship.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, for one event, my thing is Soul Summit has been doing this over 20 years.
Yes.
And they are at the point now that they should be getting corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
Now, there may be cultural budgets here and there that you might get something.
Yeah.
But if that were so, you would know.
Got
and how you would know? It would be on their flyer.
Got you.
It would be on their website.
Mm-hmm.
It would be on their banner.
Got you.
If you notice, there's nothing showing that they're getting anything.
Yeah. Got you.
So the only thing is they got to hustle behind the scenes. It might be vendors.
Yeah.
Vendors got to pay. That might be one way.
Mm-hmm.
I know they definitely pass around the bucket at the events.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically how they've been doing it. It's still a grassroots mostly event.
Yeah, we got to
You know.
we got to change that now, bro. House music's been in existence for like 40 years. We've got to have we've got to standardize some of this stuff, bro.
Well, so this is where I'm gonna be blunt.
Yeah.
And this is where I may have gotten in trouble or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm at the stage that whoever takes this advice,
Yes.
is to our benefit.
Got you.
Okay, so hear it out. I see how you do things,
Yes.
and very businesslike.
Yes.
Your business is on point. We have a problem in New York.
Okay, got you.
The problem in New York is that we have an operate underground mentality.
Got you.
We have always had that mentality. And there's another generation coming up
Yes.
that I'm pretty sure will not do that.
Okay.
But our generation does not know how to monetize officially
Yes.
in terms of, I'm going to make up a proposal.
Yes.
I'm going to go and shake the hands of this politician and that politician and this politician.
Yes.
I'm going to get myself in front of the mayor
Yes.
and let them know that we're doing this for the community.
Yes.
We don't have that.
Got
It
you.
has always been, we have to operate. You're not truly underground if
Yeah.
you don't. You understand?
Yeah.
And that has been to our detriment.
Yeah.
So much so that we operate in venues in New York, which for people our age,
Yes.
we should not even be going to.
Understood. Yeah, you and I can talk so much about that, man, because I see not just New York, and New Jersey, but I see the whole house music community being so fragmented, right?
Yes, right.
And I've talked to a couple of other brothers too, some of them
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying after some of these DJs have been so hot, we don't have any consistent black ownership in some of these venues.
Well, that's basically it in a gist. I mean,
Yeah.
you just mentioned the whole thing all together.
Yeah.
Now, in New York, that's starting to happen.
Okay.
We do have, as I know right now, there are 3 venues that play our music
Okay.
that are black owned,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yep.
How they are run is a totally different story.
Got you.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the latest one that has opened, that one is being professionally run,
Yes.
and it's on another level as opposed to everybody else.
Excellent.
They're operating on a major level. They're doing jazz festivals and everything
Yes.
at this particular venue, which is called the Crown Hill.
Okay. Cool.
Crown Hill is black owned. The city, when they had their opening, the city came and saw it, and the city is gotten funded for them.
Okay.
They are doing things on a major level.
Got you. Crown Hill. I gotta write that down and
Yeah.
give a visit. Yeah.
That's where Soul in the Horn has his residency.
Got you.
And Soul in the Horn is one of the major black parties now in the city.
Yes.
It's all black. Ain't no question about it.
Yes.
The audience is between 21, maybe 40,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
And they're getting 600 or 700 people. Over the summer, they're getting 1,500 people at their events.
Wow. That's all right, man. That's
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So a lot of people, I mean, after this podcast, they'll know, but a lot of people don't even know about it because they're still stuck on. Remember, I told you about this whole underground thing.
Yeah.
They don't venture out, so they don't know.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in terms of the older heads, which honestly, the older heads should have been showing the way.
Yeah.
Our mentality is still, it's sad. It's not, let's get it's not. Let's get a venue that when people come, first of all, the women are comfortable because
Yes.
that's the first thing.
Yes.
The women got to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be like, oh, this is really nice. I
Mm-hmm.
really like it. If that is not the first thing happening, then what are we doing? And that to me is in New York, we have that kind of issue.
Got you.
It's about the DJs, a lot of them, oh, I just need somewhere to play.
God, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Instead of, I need to first set up a place where people want to come and feel comfortable.
Yes.
And my playing is part of it.
Yeah.
Not that it's everything. My playing is part of that.
Got you.
You understand?
Well, speaking of a safe place, but it's not a place that we own, and I'm trying to work on our own venue, but
Yes.
I want to definitely get you down here in Trenton to a place called Cooper's River. And,
Okay.
When's the last time you played in Jersey, man?
I played for T. So I played for TY's.
Yes.
At his outdoor event last September.
Okay.
But
Over in Newark.
Over in Newark.
Yes. Yep.
But in terms of a club, it's 2 years.
Okay. All right.
And I was also in Newark.
Got you.
And every time I played, and every time I played, I've gotten a great reception.
Got you. Well,
as to why I'm not brought over more,
okay.
I will not. I don't know. I can't.
Well,
I can't. I'm not interested in speculating.
Okay. Well, no more need for speculation. Thanks to my cousin, I'm giving him a shout out, Ian. We're gonna and thanks for the connection. We're gonna get you down here in Trenton and let you rock out, man. So we're looking to get you down here in April, bro. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But listen, I know you don't have that much time. I want you to get ready for this evening. Now, when you did, you've never done like the Zanzibar or 88 or Club America in Jersey, have you?
You mean gone to those? No. I've been.
But I mean, played.
No. Back then, no.
Okay.
I went, but I never played.
Yeah, we all did, man. That's all right. Yeah.
You know, club. The two clubs, Club 88. No, 3 clubs. So it was Club 88, Zanzibar, and the Cheetah Club.
Okay.
And the Cheetah Club. Yeah, I did those 3.
Okay. See, I did the Cheetah, but we hated the Cheetah Club because that was like driving to New York again. That was at the other end in Patterson.
I know. But
we would be
I really had I liked John Robinson back in the day, and John was dope. So and then there was another thing I was going to mention. There is one more.
Well, in Jersey, another club.
Yeah, I played. Well, I played at the Cave.
Okay.
At the Coffee Cave, I played at that.
Yeah.
And there was another club.
They just had a reunion too, or something.
They had a reunion.
Yeah.
There was another club, but it's distant in my memory right now. But
Kervyn, that's okay, brother. That's all right.
Yeah.
But listen, man. Anything else you wanna share with us, man? This has been fantastic.
Thank you.
That you took us down this journey, right? And I think that the purpose of the podcast was to hear your story, share your story, give you your flowers, man, and just talk about all the wonderful connections that you made and how you continue to push this house music forward. And hopefully, through the people that you're meeting, you're bringing it from this underground status to where we can begin to have some legitimate status. Not that we don't have legitimate status, but we can have a status where people can all really get together and start to build, upon this, behind this, right? So
yes. So I'm going to leave it with this.
Yes, sir.
Based on my experiences and my exposure.
Yes.
I am huge that any room that I do,
yes,
I try to get people from all walks of life in that room.
Yes.
I am not I'm about my people.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see my people there. I want to see my people of color.
Yes.
But the ideal situation is to have all ethnicities, all cultures, all in one room.
Yeah, yeah.
The event that I do at Hudson Yards,
Yes.
okay, which now is honestly, that is my pride and joy.
Okay.
Hudson Yards here in New York. If you go online and you look at the videos,
Yes.
that is precisely what you see. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
he's got all types of people there.
Yeah.
And they are partying as one.
Well, but I'm going back to your original thing. When you talk about the melting pot, when you go to New York, that's what you get.
That's right.
But But as you come further away from New York, you don't get that. It's almost like a cultural party because you're gonna get predominantly African American.
Yes, and I totally know that. I know that.
Because when I went to Soul Summit last year, right? I'm always amazed that it's almost 50-50 between the Asians, African Americans, some Hispanics.
That's right. Yes.
It's the melting pot of house music, man. Right.
That's right. Yeah.
And your vibe is at a whole. First of all, the sound system, but then you're vibing at a whole nother level because you're just literally bumping into everybody from every walk of life, man. Right.
Right.
You get a fraction of that when you come to Jersey, some of the festivals, but New York is what you really get when you're talking about that whole melting pot experience. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you've hit it on the head.
Yeah.
Soul Summit is a utopia unto itself.
Absolutely.
And those guys, we're like brothers. We're really close.
Got you.
Soul Summit and myself. Yeah, I am literally part of that family.
Excellent.
I am.
Excellent.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we're really, really close.
Excellent.
And we both share the same. There's three guys that you need to know about. So there's them.
Yes.
There's this guy, Ali Coleman.
Yes.
Who spearheads the dance parade here in New York.
Okay.
Okay? And myself. The three of us we all think alike.
Excellent.
That we have to have a melting pot of people together.
Yes.
Here in New York, it has to have that.
Yes.
Because so unlike in Jersey, where again you would talk about the politics, you could go to a mayor and the mayor will give you the money.
Yeah.
The mayor will only give you the money if his constituents are being satisfied.
Got you.
The constituency here in New York is a melting pot.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So having only African Americans at your event, even though our mayor is African American, he's still going to be like, no. I like it because I'm getting all types of people at these events.
Yeah.
See, so it has to coincide with that, and that's how we think.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I love the energy. Now, one other question before I let you go. Where are you currently doing your residency now?
Right. So, monthly.
Yes.
I'm doing a party with Ruben Toro.
Yes.
It's called The Real Temple.
Yes.
We do it at Loft 51.
Yes.
Here in the city, which is on 51st Street off of the West Side Highway.
Yes.
627 West 51st Street. We have an event tonight. You can get the tickets online.
Sorry.
On Eventbrite and all that.
Yeah.
But we have a ticket tonight.
Got you.
We have that. So that's one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm gearing up for Hudson Yards. Starting in May.
Awesome.
I'm going to be doing more events in Hudson Yards.
Awesome.
And
I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah, you got to come to that because the production is going to be I'm taking it to the next level over there.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Now listen, so I'm telling the listening audience, we are looking forward to you, man. Not necessarily going to roll out the red carpet, but I'm going to welcome you, man, because you're my man. I'm going to welcome you when you come to Trenton in April, brother. We are looking forward to you and listening to your sounds, and we're certainly going to get the flyer out so we can get some folks to start purchasing tickets in advance. So your crowd will want to come down and hang out with us, and hopefully you'll be bringing the melting pot with you, bro.
yes, definitely.
Kervyn, listen, man, I thank you. Cousin Ian, I love you. I thank you. This was dope with the hookup. Cause I was telling Ian, I was like, yo, I'm trying to do this new production thing. He said, yeah. I said, I'm looking for some DJs. He said, you gotta call my man Kervyn. We went to school together. I know him personally. And this is what family does, man. This is what family looks like. So, Cousin Ian, I'm shouting you out, brother. Thank you.
I will always have mad love for that dude.
Yeah.
Ian and myself were like, There was a group of like 5 of us.
Yes.
At Pace.
Yes.
And Ian was definitely that dude. Funny guy too. As you know, he's a funny dude too.
Yeah,
funny
he
dude.
is.
Funny dude.
Yes.
But like me, he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
McEvers, the whole thing. That's my dude.
Yeah.
Got mad love for that guy, man.
Absolutely.
Always will. Yeah.
If I was thinking a little earlier, we could have called him while he was at work.
Nah, because he and myself would be getting into old stories and getting nothing done.
Yeah. But listen,
we would be pulling our files on people.
Yeah, no. That's all right. Mm-hmm. I can get my numbers up, right? Like Cat Williams did when he came on the Shay Shay.
That's what I'm saying.
I get my numbers up, like, wow, with the quickness, right? Whoa, what kind of team is going on, right?
Instead of Shay Shay, I have to call you Kev Kev.
Yes,
so
sir.
This is Kev Kev.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But listen, man, nothing but success tonight and going forward, brother.
Thank you.
Every time I see you on Facebook, I'm always sharing because I love your style of play as well. So we're going to give you mad support, and then we're definitely going to, because this is what I love about Facebook and telephone and things of that nature. You and I have never met. We have never met face to face, but I love the energy. I love our vibe. So I'm looking forward to hanging out and partying with you soon, brother.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah. I follow what you do, and I'm like, yeah, this guy is he's doing interesting things. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, sir. So listen, if you have some other up and coming or just brothers and sisters in the space that we call house music that you would love for me to interview, send them my way, brother. We're gonna make it happen. All right?
Okay, absolutely.
Kervyn, I love you. Have a great evening, man. We're gonna talk to you soon, man.
Thank you.
All right?
Yep.
All right,
peace
now. Yes, sir.
Peace.
That concludes another episode of The Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about any of our episodes, please call 609-731-9311 or email Kevin at minding-our-business.com. We look forward to joining us for our next one. Until next time.